Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, where we support, inspire, and empower you 1 mile at a time.
So welcome to the Learn to RV podcast. We're here today with some real stories today, and I'm thrilled to be sitting here with RV There Yet, and that's Patrice and Kevin McCabe. Now, they have a hit show on Discovery Channel, and maybe you don't know that, but I'm hoping you'll find out why they started this and where we're going. I met you guys, Perry last spring when you did the FRVA rally?
Yeah, in March, in Perry. Yep, and then
Yeah.
we saw you again in Gillette, Wyoming in July.
Yep. And so, I mean, they're doing the whole circuit, but we're going to get there. But, you guys have been, you had a business in the industry, right? And so can you tell us a little about how you got started with RV There Yet?
Well, we started with a fishing show. So I'm a TV guy. I got a degree from the University of South Florida in television production. And so here it was, I guess about year 2000, I started producing television, and I started with a fishing show. And I was behind the scenes, the executive producer, did all the editing, and Patrice did the sales, and we had a host. And so away we went producing this fishing show, and it was on Fox Sports and Discovery Channel. And away we went. Very popular show, very successful. And then, as we all know, in this world, we had COVID hit. And COVID caused us to take a left turn. So we couldn't produce the show. They closed our fishing ramps here in Florida. We couldn't fish with guides because we didn't know if we were going to transmit the disease or the virus. And so we stopped. And so the story goes that we were in a meeting at a fishing convention with Discovery Channel, and they said, well, what are you going to do with your airtime?
And I'm sitting in this meeting, same meeting with him, and I should be used to this because I married him, but he just throws out the idea, and the biggest challenge I had was keeping my face in check, and acting like I knew what he was talking about. Discovery loved the idea. We left that meeting and I said, what are you talking about? What RV show are you talking about? Who's hosting it?
Yeah, I just threw out a travel show, Jennifer. It came to me in this meeting. They said, what are you going to do? And I said, well, what about a travel show in an RV? And their eyes lit up and they said, wow, RV sales are booming because of COVID. Get us a pilot and we'd love to run it. And so Patrice is in the meeting.
And we had been RVers since 2004 because of the fishing show. We were traveling from Texas to New York. It was a saltwater fishing show. So following saltwater circuit, doing boat shows and trade shows and filming, when we own our airtime and we own the company. So that purchase of airtime is not cheap. So we were poor. We were on a budget. It was a way to house the crew when we were on the road, feed them. We fell in love with RVing. And I think back now, and it was all meant to be, because here we are in season 5. We still do everything behind the scenes. We still own everything.
And tell them about that meeting, though. You came out of the meeting with not knowing what I had said.
Right.
So I had said travel show. Well, Patrice is in the meeting going, what travel show is he throwing out there?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot how Frank and I work. So that makes it very interesting in a marriage. And so, every time you turn around, that's actually how we got on the road. Honestly, I never wanted to do this lifestyle, and I'm in year 13. We launched in 2013. And I told Frank I'd do this over my dead body. And then I came home like 7 years later and said we should go on the road full time in an RV. And here we are still today. And so Learn to RV is kind of born out of that. My friend Doug Setzer actually owned the company for years. And so when he decided to sell it like 3 years ago, we were around a campfire. And I said, hey, if you ever decide to get rid of it, can I buy it? And so the heart of Learn to RV is very much like you guys. It's, industry owned, and your heart's in it, and you're doing it for all the right reasons. And we travel for events, so we understand all of that too. What would you say you love most about RVing?
Oh gosh, there's a lot of things. I think I'm at, number 400 or 4,375 reasons why I like it. It's a lot of things. It's the control of our environment. Number one, we get to sleep in our same bed. I know that those sheets are clean. I know nobody touched my remote. All my things are there. I don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to take liquids on board? It's just, and controlling our food. Um, through RVing, we found, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in 2005, and I've been cancer free since, went through treatment, all the things, but it was really looking at our food and eating out all the time, and just being able to control that stuff. So that's my number one. Number two is seeing this country like no other. Not just getting off of the plane in the airport, getting a rental car and going to a hotel. It's, you're in it. You're in the communities. You're stopping off the road, and the people.
She really didn't say it, Jennifer, but Patrice hates to fly.
Well, that too.
Hotel, rental cars. That whole thing is really the reason that we started this. Is she is not a flyer.
Yeah.
So when we started this, she doesn't really do well in the passenger seat either. Many people don't realize that she drives. She is the one who drives. I drive too. People think I don't drive.
He taught me everything.
So we got we started with a little 26-footer, and I taught her to drive. And literally, I cannot get her out of the driver's seat anymore because she is much more comfortable in the driver's seat than she is in the passenger seat. So again, I think she doesn't say that it's really her fear of flying.
That, and honestly, yes. But I said the control. Instead of playing, you have no control.
So Jen Aggio, who's one of my co-hosts, she drives because she wants to control the RV. And she has a chase car where her husband is driving the chase car, but she is the primary driver of their fifth wheel. And they've had it all. They've had a travel trailer, a motorhome, and a fifth wheel now. And they travel with 4 kids. So, so she still drives. And I think it's important to say, it's very important for women to learn how to drive their rig for emergency situations.
Absolutely. I will say this too. The navigator has the hard job. I do not want to be the navigator. I mean, when you're towing or you have a fifth wheel, or you can't just back up if you get,
if you're flat towing.
Flat towing, but even in some of those big fifth wheels, when you get into a situation, you've got to be cognizant of how big you are, how tall you are, what you can fit in, gas stations. He has the hard job. I have no internal compass. I just know to go where I'm going.
Forward.
Turn left.
That's fascinating, actually. All right. So what are some, living in a tight space that comes with its own set of challenges? And you mentioned you bring a crew sometimes, or you used to, but what are some things you guys have learned about each other? Because, 350 to 400 square feet is not a lot of space to live in on a regular. So what do you think you've learned about each other doing this?
Well, for us, I think the routine of putting things in its place. Like you said, it's a very small space. So our sunglasses, our keys go. If you're one of these people that kind of has things everywhere, you're going to lose things. And it's one of those things, you're going to put them in the wrong place. And so we're very regimented in how we live, whether it's clothing in the spots, whether it's our keys and sunglasses, whether it's Patrice's pantry and her kitchen, whether it's her bathroom. Now we're down to 1 bathroom. We used to have a bath and a half, and Patrice had her own bathroom. So we're a little bit different in this RV we have this year, being only 30 feet. But that's really for us, is that it's very, everything has its place. And I think that's something everybody should learn.
I think I learned out of this whole experience and through the years that I chose wisely. I have a great partner because he is tidy. He's like me. I'm a little extra, but he's good.
A little?
That everything does have its place, and it's going to be there. And if it's not, you can easily retrace your steps. We had somebody in our RV recently that was like, is it always like this, or is this just for TV? No, it really is always like this, because that way, when we do have our crew on location, they don't stay with us. They don't travel with us. A lot of them, they do drive majority of the time because they too enjoy driving. But when they come in, some of their gear, they know where that goes. It's just a habit of mixing business with personal that we just have been able to organize.
I think it's also the processes too. And Jennifer, I'm sure you know it. It's jacks down, slides out, electric hooked up, water hooked up. I mean, that process, once you get that down, and we've been doing it for a long time, like you, and it's so once you get that down, I know a lot of people have checklists to make
Safety
sure they
checklist.
don't forget things. And again, for us, it's kind of second nature. We've been doing this over 20 years, so we've kind of got that process down.
And you don't want to take it for granted just because you've been doing it a long time. You still need to have those, safety checklists. And so we're
Absolutely.
creature of habit,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm working on a blog list just like that for now that people don't think about, that are all those important things. And, I hate talking about, my Jen said to me yesterday, well, you've got to talk about roofs. And I'm like, I do not need to talk about roofs. Everybody hears me talk about roofs. And she's like, yeah, but, just the basics they need to know. And so that went on there. So I was smart about it. What would you say? Let's say that you can't travel without. What's some gear that you just can't? You guys do workshops and seminars and talk about different brands of things. Are there any things that you just absolutely love?
Oh gosh, you go first.
I'm gonna go with my water filter. We just got the Blue Technology AR3 water filter. And as Patrice said, she is a cancer survivor. I live with cancer. I have leukemia, so I am going through treatment right now. And my consumption of water, because I'm on a treatment, I have to drink a lot of water. And so rather than bottled water, which can have small microplastics in it, we have invested in a water filter that is an unbelievable. I mean, for the first time, we made ice cubes, which we've never really done with water from the spigot or a small inline filter. So having that for me, the water filter is a big plus. I wouldn't leave home without it.
I would say my outdoor cooking stuff. I have a new induction burner, and I have my little grill outside because I want to be outside with everybody else. I don't want to be inside cooking. I love to cook, and now I have an outdoor kitchen. So having those two, we always have them. And then I would say, especially now that we're down to one bathroom. Listen, I thought I was going to be a lot more annoyed that I had to go down to one bathroom because I was spoiled with a bath and a half. I'm not that annoyed, but my mold and mildew cleaner, I spray everything with that thing, man. I have 2 bottles in the RV just so I have a backup.
Jennifer,
That's awesome.
Along the cooking lines, we can give you a little exclusive. Patrice's cooking segments seem to get cut a lot on the show, and they end up on the cutting room floor. We do a lot of cooking, or she does a lot of cooking. So you're getting an exclusive here. We're starting a spinoff called RV Eats, and Patrice is going to do a new show. We're working on the first 2 episodes.
It's an online series.
Online series. And so we're editing the first 2 episodes, maybe come out by the first of the year. But that's something that her cooking doesn't get seen enough on the show. So,
and I didn't get to say that was probably number 4 of things I love about RVing is the food on the road. I mean, local, the local cultures. When we do save a time where we go out and enjoy something that the locals eat. We were just in Myrtle Beach with you. So we went to one of our favorite fishmongers, 7 Seas there in Murrells Inlet, and loaded up. I still have snapper in my freezer and some fresh grouper. But it's shopping local, eating local. So whenever we go, that's what I try to do is cook for the crew on the last night with stuff that we found throughout the week.
That's fantastic. What's the one thing that you'd say is on your RV Christmas wish list?
RV Christmas wish list.
You know those I saw them again this week, and I don't know why I haven't gotten them for myself. They're the they look like fitted sheets, but they go over the picnic table and the seats of the picnic table. I don't know why. It's so silly, but I love those because who wants to sit on a dirty picnic table?
But do you know why those are so important?
Because then it won't blow away.
No, because people actually stick their sewer hose on the picnic table.
Oh, I mean, we have nice chairs and everything, but when I like to sit.
Right. But if you don't cover your picnic table, you have no idea who did what to it before you got there. So it's important to have those, actually. It's a great tool.
I agree. What's yours? I'm sweating.
Yeah, a Christmas present, for us being, small business, really Christmas for us is all the time. So I don't
I
Christmas.
would say too, like another trip back to one of our.
My Christmas present would be going back to Branson, Missouri. We just got back filming an episode from Branson, and I really want to see Christmas, the lights.
They go
They
all
go
out.
all out in Branson, Missouri. So I'd like a trip. I think, of course, the guy that RVs wants a trip. That's me. I want to be on the road. Yeah,
I feel that. Well, I mean, we're full time. You guys are not full time, right?
No,
correct.
about 6 months.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right, so let's talk about Family RV Association, formerly FMCA. When we met you at the 110th convention, we didn't really know a lot about you, but what I loved about you guys was the fact that you were so engaging. You weren't just some movie star out there that people couldn't talk to. And I watched people just last week in Myrtle Beach kind of not really know who you are, and it surprised me. But what didn't surprise me was how warm and welcoming you are. And so FRVA needs a rebrand, and we're all here for whatever that looks like. But they've actually partnered with you guys in some way to help that. So, what is your role in that change within a Family RV Association?
Well, I think our FMCA, the old name, I mean, it's the oldest motor coach club in the country, and we do not want to see it go away. And so when we found Family RV Association, their new name, and we found out that they started as motorhome or motor coaches only. And so we found out last year when we met them that they are now trailers, fifth wheels, Class A, Class B, Class C, tents, whatever. They're inviting everybody to be part of the club. That was a message that we wanted to tell. And so we met Doug and we met Paul, we met Bob, all the executive board there. And we loved it that it was also run by the members. It wasn't a corporation. It was a volunteer based, run by the members. And so that message resonated with us. And so we said, we wanted to produce a show at our first. So we joined and we filmed an episode of our first time at the event, the international event in
Oh,
Perry,
okay.
Georgia, when we met you. And so that was our first time going to an event as members. And it was just a blast. And like Patrice said, our favorite part is our people. I mean, that's my favorite part of this job is meeting wonderful people across this country. And certainly of the 50,000 plus or whatever the number is of members these days, it's amazing to meet people each and every time we go to an event.
For us too, because we are small business, we both come from small business families. My parents owned a franchise in Lincoln, Nebraska, a muffler shop. His dad parents had a travel agency in Cocoa Beach. But it's really supporting those American companies. We work with Blue Ox, which is flat towing. They've been around for 100 years, fourth generation family owned. Starbright, our cleaning products, they're made in Montgomery, Alabama. They've been around for almost 55 years now. It's finding those products and those companies. So Family RV Association, being around since 1963, starting in New Hampshire or Vermont with just 12 RVers, and growing to what they are. They provide, roadside assistance, insurance, emergency benefits, tons of education for first timers to experienced people, and then bringing the vendors and the manufacturers together at the international events. So for us, it was something that we would like to see evolve with the new RVers. Get those families in there. We don't currently see a lot of families with children coming in and participating. So our job, and we take it very seriously, is we want to inspire people to go RV, go enjoy this country, but also come together as a community because, when we're all out on the road and at a campground, our RVers, we all like each other. You can walk around in your pajamas holding a bag of dog poo and still make friends.
Absolutely. And what, we talked briefly about it. I have been for 2 years trying to start a chapter within FRVA called the Rolling Roots Family Chapter.
Love
I
that.
do have all the signatures. And so there's a little bit of pomp and circumstance within FRVA, but there's also getting past the idea that it is not just a retirees club. And
Yeah.
so one of the challenges is I have actually been a member since 2017 when they started allowing towables. Did you know it's been that long?
Yeah.
We did.
So
And that was when he threw out the idea after we started working with him. He's like, why haven't you told this story? So it was his idea to produce an episode to tell that. That was really the first national stage of them telling that, because we
Yep.
were shocked to learn that the name changed in 2017.
Yep.
Right. And so we've been a member, but most of the rallies we go to, there's nothing for the kids. So the idea behind Rolling Roots, and Doug has set it up, and Doug is the new CEO of the company. We're very excited about that. But he set it up so we have 25 family spots, but we have to sell them before January 2nd. And so the goal, however, is to give people a free first year to the Rolling Roots chapter that want to be a part of that. Now, what's neat about that is you don't have to have kids to be a part of it. And so if you're just a couple that likes children, that wants to participate by hosting a crafting seminar, that's exactly what we're going to offer you. So you can join that chapter no matter what stage of life you're at. Some of my kids, their best grandparents or their best aunts and uncles are still people we met on the road. And we still travel with 3 kids. So I still travel with a 19, a 14, and a 16-year-old. And so, we are the weird demographic, but we've been doing it since Judah was 1. So he's been on the road literally his whole life. So that is our neighborhood. So we're up in we're up in, where did we go? Virginia Beach this week. And then we head to Florida, and we head to Florida for community. And so that's where a lot of the families hang out in the winter, just like the snowbirds. We all go south in the winter. Let's talk about the future of FRVA. Actually, no, I'm going to back up just a second, because you said something at the last rally that kind of struck a chord with me. You said you were planning to start a chapter. Is that true?
Well, we're bringing geocache. So we were going to start a geocache, and I think that's good for families too. Certainly for
Oh, yeah.
grandkids and the kids, is we're bringing the geocache in. If you don't know what geocache is a smartphone GPS scavenger hunt. So that's one of them. We're hoping to start that chapter in Perry. Create the banner. We're going to hopefully have Jeff come down from Seattle and geocache
In March.
to kind of start off in March this new chapter. But I know you had mentioned doing an RV There Yet TV chapter.
Oh,
No, I think Jennifer
yeah,
had
that
said
me,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think you could do a chapter for that too. I mean, I think that those things are all such neat aspects. And what's neat about all the chapters is you can join more than one. So, like,
Yep.
I can run road schooling resources, but we can join a geocaching chapter. We can
Yeah.
join a chapter. Was there a ham radio chapter there this week out in Gear?
I think I heard that. Yeah.
So while that may not be my jam, somebody else might be interested in
Yep.
that. So you don't have to be a ham radio operator to join that. And other people are looking for things that are closer to home. So I know there's chapters for specific locations. And
Yeah.
so there's different chapters for different things. So getting connected is the part of that community that I preach on all the time. And, I know that's, it's just, Frank calls this my heart project because it doesn't make a lot of money yet. But, at this point, the goal is to just keep connecting people. And I'm a connector by nature.
I love that you have the family chapter. I love that is something that, I feel like FRVA really needs to get behind and help, promoting and recruiting. And same with us. We met some first timers this past week in South Carolina who are our age, Gen Xers, proud to be a Gen Xer. But yeah.
Me too.
So and the same, they were couples. One was traveling with an adult child as well. And, it was a community that we all, we found each other, in that area. So I'd love for that to be more,
Yep. 100%. And I think that there's lots of ideas that a lot of us have that have done rallies over the years that once FRVA becomes more receptive to that, I hope that they will start listening to the volunteers. And maybe the culture of FRVA is changing, but we also want to honor, what FRVA was for
Mhm.
FMCA. And so we don't want to take away everything. We don't want to take away, we want to keep in all the important stuff, but sometimes it's just evolving. Um, you know, all right. So yeah, let's talk about influencers in this community. And so this is one thing that we talked about this past week that is really on my heart. And what would you say to influencers today? There's lots of them out there. There's tons of them. They're now starting to host their own rallies. Brands are starting to host their own rallies. It used to be everybody would go to FRVA, didn't matter what brand it was, you just had to have a motorhome. And so now that it's everybody can go, whether it's a towable or a fifth wheel or a travel trailer or a school bus. I mean, you could have pretty much anything go to an FRVA event.
Mhm.
What would you say to those influencers that want to host their own rallies? Because the reason I didn't start another club, because I'm in a couple family clubs, um, was because I love the fact that we're all still under the same banner. And I think that it's important to keep that community within that. So, what would you say to those influencers? How would you encourage them to start a chapter within FRVA?
Well, I think it's the audience. I mean, influencers are all about gaining that audience and certainly creating an audience for what they do and the content they create. So this is a ready-made audience. They are, and that's really what they've embraced us. Now, you said a lot of people don't know about us because we're kind of TV folks. We're not that online like the influencers are. So I think people are slowly finding us where I think everybody's really keyed in on the YouTube audience. And so you've got 50,000 plus people. There'll be maybe 4,000 people in Perry, Georgia. I mean, what a way to reach out to 4,000 more people for your audience. So for influencers, that's really what they're looking for, is just an audience to watch their videos and engage with their content. So that's really what we get out of it. I know that it's fantastic.
And I think the two international events that FRVA puts on, Perry, Georgia, and then they're going to Sedalia, Missouri in July. What's unique about that is that it is open to the public. They have a trade show or convention where vendors from around the country that are RV related, some of them may not be, but it's open to that public on specific days, so they can come in and check it out. And like Kevin said, it's an opportunity for those influencers to reach some more eyeballs and audience. And I think they would be, furthering that mouthpiece of what Family RV Association is.
Agreed. And not all influencers are, some of them are just couples. I think that that's what makes it such a unique situation. Stan Cromlish, I know that he is, just a single guy, solo, traveling in his Tiffin. And I actually met him in Rock Springs out at the Tiffin rally this past summer. So, I mean, like, and he's also an FRVA member. So
Mhm.
community is everywhere. It's not just at an FRVA rally. And the bit deeper you get into those layers, the more you understand that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're at season 5 of RV There Yet. Um, let's talk about that for a little bit. When does that air?
So interesting you asked that question. So we aired in from April to June for the first 4 seasons of RV There Yet, and that was in second quarter. Last season was kind of a breakout season for us. So we're going along with season 4, and all of a sudden, I think the kids got out of school in June, and the ratings went from strong to the last 2 episodes being Elkhart and Prince William, Virginia. The ratings went off the chart. Literally,
That's
the
awesome.
line went straight up. And Discovery Channel said, "Hey, that tells me you guys should be on in the summer rather than the spring, because your audience, obviously, kids are getting out of school, everybody's free to jump in their RV and go on their summer break." So we are moving season 5 for the first time to the third quarter. So what's very interesting about it is we air July 5th after the biggest birthday of our country, the 250, the semi quincentennial birthday
I
of our
taught him that
country.
word.
Yeah, she did. So what's great about it and if you've watched the show, last year I had this crazy idea. We were in Forest City, Iowa. Right across from Winnebago is a company called CDI Custom Paint. They make custom paint jobs for your RV. And as we were doing the tour of their factory, on the way out, I said, "Patrice, I got an idea." And she, of course, looks at me and rolls her eyes like, "Oh, geez,
Oh, here we
what's
go.
he talking about?" I wanted to do a custom red, white, and blue RV to commemorate this huge birthday that's coming this year. So sure enough, we have a brand new paint job on our new Winnebago Sunstar, and it is a looker. I can tell you from Myrtle Beach, I'll tell you a funny story. So many people took pictures of it. One morning, Patrice has got her hair up. She's in her skivvies.
I'm in my pajamas. I got a big old
bag of trash. She goes to open the door, and there's a guy driving by in his golf cart filming the RV.
I'm like,
and there's Patrice.
Oh my word.
So the fun of RVing. So yeah, Completion 5, July 5th. We're going to do a special episode for that episode, the making of this RV. We've got, like Patrice said, Blue Ox, a 100-year company, has made a red, white, and blue tow bar for us. So we've got a special first episode to air July 5th. That's going to be a really special one to start the season.
And we'll be, singing more American stories throughout, Branson being one of the episodes that we just filmed. We filmed 2 in Northwest Pennsylvania, got to, visit a national natural monument in
Leaper, Pennsylvania.
Cook Forest.
Yes, the Cathedral Forest.
And it's singing some of these, American stories. We visited the Penn State Creamery, which has been around since the 1800s, on campus, 4 days from cow to cone. I mean, it was awful. I had to eat ice cream for breakfast because we had to film.
Did you get sick of ice cream is the real question.
No.
Never. Never.
But I mean, it's and finding those hidden gems and telling those American stories wherever they are. And it's the communities that built this country and have survived and thrived. And, again, why we love RVing.
Absolutely. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. So you guys will be in Perry with us.
Yep.
Hopefully we can talk you into coming to our booth at the Tampa Super Show for at least a day. And so you'll want to check out the Learn to RV page and join that. And so what started for us as a heart project and not something I ever saw myself doing because we weren't busy enough running a nationwide RV roofing company.
Right.
I had to buy Learn to RV. And then when we bought Learn to RV, someone said, you should start a podcast. And I went, sure, I'm in it. So here we are in a podcast. And so there's so much to do and see across the country, though. And FRVA has so many great benefits.
Agreed.
And Kevin and Patrice are just a wealth of knowledge. And so we're just blessed to have them as part of our community. So we just want to say thank you. Where can they find you online? Can you drop your link for us so we can make sure it's in the show notes?
Yeah, just go to RVThereYetTV.com or search RV There Yet TV. We come up on, Amazon Prime, Roku, YouTube. It's all out there. Just search RV There Yet TV.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. And the cooking show, what was that one again?
RV Eat.
And in December, Jennifer, and I know this is going to air in between, but we got a special broadcast. We're doing our Christmas special like you guys are. And we're unveiling some really big news December 10th. So if you can put this in there to give us a little pop, that'd be great.
Absolutely. This is actually going to be airing like in 2 weeks. So because we have to fill those spaces for the FRVA event, or what happens to those spaces is they go back into general population. And when that happens, all of the people that didn't want to park with kids are going to be parking with the kids that are registered.
Well, let's say for all the families out there, you got to join the FRVA Family Jennifer's chapter. I'm telling you, you'll have a blast. We're going to geocache. We got lots of stuff to do in Perry in March for the kids.
And come hang out with us in the Discovery Zone, which is the Georgia Grown building. Jennifer, we will have a space for the kids.
Awesome.
Let's pack it with kids because that's what we want. I'll even do a kids cooking class.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, so we'll get this episode out to FRVA so that they can blast it as well. And so don't forget to follow Learn to RV the podcast, like, follow, and subscribe, and join us on the next episode of Learn to RV. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks for riding along with us today. Until next time, keep the wheels turning.